ready to roll. We're going to launch this thing today. Well, not we. The amazing crypto hex crypto dev Alex is going to launch his new product, and we're going to be seeing what this little feller can do. I'm pretty freaking fired up about it. Let me jump off real quick. Let these guys talk.
I got it back today.
People don't give you enough crap for that. We need to give him some more crap.
That's a pretty good title, man. The number one validator.
If you're not number one, you're number two, right, Dave?
Oh, damn. Yeah. Who's number one now?
So right now it's me. So me and Hodl Dog, I think we'll probably alternate weeks. Now. You know, like some kind of shared custody kind of thing.
Fuck yes.
It's shared custody. The kid, full circle.
Dude, I've seen some things that Hodl Dog has created, and it's epic, man. It's man.
And shout out to Hodl Dog. He's the one who taught me how to be a validator.
Oh,
actually he helped me get mine up and going because he got his working first. So yeah, shout out to him. He's the master. I'm the student.
He's a good doggy.
I like Hodl Dog. I don't know who doesn't like Hodl Dog. Just let me know and give me some objective reasons why, because I haven't heard any. I haven't heard a single one.
As a legend. I was so happy to meet him in Vegas in March. It was awesome.
Yes. But so Dave, remember our bet about if Pulsechain launches, you're going to come to Vegas?
It's looking like I'm going to win.
I think so. It's so terrible, so bad.
But hey, at least we got a Pulsechain update today from Richard. That was awesome.
What happened? So I've been out this morning. What happened? Yeah, give us some update.
Told you, don't go outside, man. Like,
I need to be more excited. I've already had my coffee. Get me there, David.
Yeah, he tweeted that kind of an update. They're working on doing the DDoS attacks on the testnet right now. That's what they're focusing on, like a red team, blue team, and they're doing internal. It's on the private testnet, so it's even we can't see it's not public, but that's going on. And they're going to make some tweaks to, I think, the number of validators. He said the entropy of validators. So it sounds like he's going to add more, maybe more than 33.
More than 33. Maybe maybe 69.
That works.
That is more than 33.
Yeah. Because just in case, like, let's say, there's only 33, it makes it, it is less to target and attack. So if let's say you did bump it up to 69, well, then it's like way more servers all around the world. You got to simultaneously DDoS. It gets way more complicated and expensive for the hackers. So I could see why.
For the devs, though, too, running those servers, right?
Well, it actually just means that more validators who would not be in rotation now will be in rotation. You'll actually have more choices to vote from, really.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, the people attacking and the people. Yeah, I could see that. I mean, that is something you would do, again, from security background here. When you have a vulnerability or you have a type of attack, you're trying to see if you fixed or not, or see if your protections work or not. You do usually have, you have the developers, which are usually the blue team or security ops team, people who are responsible for monitoring it and who are checking to see if someone is able to get in or the attack works or whatever. So you have that sort of team who's like watching, and then you have maybe a red team, or you have some other type of attack team that is trying to perform the attack and try to make it successful. And they kind of like feed each other they can feed each other intelligence. But for this case, it sounds like if that's what's happening, it sounds like they're in a testing scenario where, the one team is attacking it by exploiting the vulnerability, the bugs that they found that they're fixing, that they probably have fixed, but they want to verify, is it actually fixed? So it's actually a good sign. That's a sign of quality assurance in a way of like, we want to be certain that these are fixed. So we're actually going to try to attack the network. Now, how good of attackers do you have? It kind of comes down to, okay, the people who are trying to attack, do they know all the different variables? Do they know the different ways to attack? How much, how many test cases are there? There's different, quality levels of trying to attack things that are fixed and make sure they're fixed from the other side. But hey, I got all the faith in the world that RH is making sure, like, hey, this is going to be locked tight and solid before shipping. So that's a great sign and a great move that they're actually testing these fixes in real time to make sure we're good to go. Period.
Yeah, very, very exciting. Yeah, because that shows progress. We're getting that's progress. Really good. That's good news, because once that's tightened up and once security is great, it can't be DDoS. Once we can guarantee that we're not going to pull a Solana, then that's way Like that's good progress. That's amazing.
Yes, for sure. No Solanas. We don't want Solanas.
Yeah,
Bullish is telling me. I'm just going to drop it here because I don't have Telegram on this computer. So StreamYard. Nobody get on StreamYard who's not Sloth. Or maybe later you can, but not right now. Por favor. Yeah, David, can y'all drop that in the Telegram? Because I don't have Telegram on this device.
Wait, what?
I don't see.
Oh, Bullish got it. I dropped it in
You
the
didn't
chat.
put anything. Oh.
Actually, I can't.
Oh, wait.
Markables on here, but he called.
You there, Kool-Aid?
Interest to it because he didn't know what it
We're
was.
live, buddy. We're live.
Yours. And there's more, right?
This is all pre-recorded
There's
stuff,
the,
right?
Launch party chat. That's right. Oh, here we go. Sloth's on. Welcome to the show, Sloth. How's it going?
I made it, guys.
You made it.
Welcome.
Off
They're live now.
Hexy Bastards channel, which was a ton of fun. So, after this whole marathon and you catch up on all this stuff, you have another hour of content to watch also as well.
That's good.
Yeah. How's it going, guys?
Doing good.
Good,
Good
man.
to see you. Very
We
excited.
had to start on the show. The one
My
who
bags
has
are
your
packed.
name in the title to get here. No, that's David Feeder. He had the name in the title. But Sloth, you're second best. I'm just kidding. Beard second. You're third. That's cool. I'll be fourth. Don't worry. It's not a
last.
Okay?
A little bit.
Yeah. That's true. That's playing.
I gotta stay professional, man. I'm on the clinic floor. I got patients. I can't be letting it all hang out.
You have a soccer jersey
Sure.
on. Is that professional?
It's a Colombian national team jersey. Yeah.
Okay, so then it's professional. Yeah, okay.
Looks like we got one more joining us. Blue Bomb.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Welcome to the
Good to see you,
party.
my man.
Let's go join the other stream.
Thank you.
Well, let's leave this
Oh,
one.
man.
Bienvenidos.
I've been saying it to a lot of people, but it feels again like kind of the beginning of Hex, where we were just with so many people on stream and just having fun and having a party.
I only have Hex. Should I be trading Hex for whatever coin they're talking about? I'm going to answer this and say no. Okay?
No. Hard no.
Because
But-
Hex is the shit.
But what you could do is you could stake your Hex. And if you stake your Hex, you can earn Hedron for free. And if you earn
Correct.
Hedron, if you've got Hedron, you could stake that Hedron and earn the Icosa for free. So at the simplest level, that's what Hexicans do. They can get free money and then go and stake that to get more free tokens.
If you don't know what we're talking about, you've got a steep learning curve ahead of you. So that's fine, because what we're talking about is really the sequel to Hedron. So you've got Hex, and there's a lot to learn about Hex, and sounds like you've probably got your head around the Hex side of things. Now you need to learn about Hedron, however you want to pronounce it, and how that works. And then this is the evolution of Hedron with the addition of a token called Icosa. So they all tie in together very, very closely, even more so now that Icosa is launched. But don't just randomly jump into this stuff. Understand what it is, what it's doing, the ramifications of it.
The other good thing that's come out, like the really good thing that I see that's come out of this, is we've got another Hex front end staking site now in Icosa.pro. So what you can do is, if you're only dealing in Hex, you can still go to that website and do all your native stakes, end stake. You can do all the important Hex stuff there, which is great. I mean, we've seen the pitfalls of not having decentralized infrastructure when it comes to things like Tornado Cash. So the fact that we've got multiple front ends in the Icosa.pro front end, and you've got the Hex.com. You've also got, let's throw what are the other ones that are out there for Hex?
I think it's backuphex.com.
Backuphex.com.
Stake Hex today. Stake Hex.
Stake.
Today?
Can you stake?
No, not yet. Not yet.
You sure? I thought that went live. No?
Did it? Okay, I was on there the other day. I didn't notice it, but yeah, I hope so, because that's a cracking site as well.
Yeah, it is a cracking site.
That's a Kiwi dude to build that.
Yeah, right. It's a very cool site.
Yeah, so Bluey told me that Alex was perhaps going to come on to the show today, but it is early morning for him. So, you know, maybe a bit later in the show, maybe. We'll see. We'll see. I definitely sent Alex the link, and we'll wait and see if he is able to make it on.
I think we can forgive him. He's probably been a little bit sidetracked of late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a little
slammed. Yeah.
But you know what? Come on this show and explain to the audience what's happening. Like, you know, we want to know his perspective, especially like a day after. Like, what, you know, what is it working as designed? Is everything the way he wanted it to be? Are there any surprises? You know, that's the sort of stuff that we want to.
Yeah, I've got a feeling it's exceeded his expectations. I mean, if I look right now on how many HSIs have been sold to the ICOSA contract,
thousands.
It's 2,802. So that means in 90 days' time, the 2,802 hex stakes will be coming up for auction at the same time.
In 90 days.
In 90 days.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
bargains are full.
Doubled.
And you can only buy those. You can only buy those when they come up for auction. You can only buy them with Hedron. So, I expect a Hedron pump in 90 days. That's just what I'm saying. I expect a Hedron pump in 90 days, or maybe it will get front run. Maybe it will get front run.
Yeah.
85 days.
So I think one of the components before ICOSA was launched with Hedron is I don't think we're seeing a lot of those HSIs go into liquidation mode. And
well, it was just ones that, you know, Wales was sacrificing in order to.
That's right. Yeah.
Get it all going.
Yeah. So that's right. So this is rocket fuel for that process, which hopefully should drag the price of Hedron up, because you're buying something of value. You're buying something of known value. Yeah, but we know how much a hex stake's worth.
Yeah.
So you can put a dollar value on that. So now someone as a minimum is going to have to sacrifice, you would think, at least the same dollar value in Hedron to get that stake.
The thing is, right, they've been going for a premium. Like, very, very, very rarely do you actually get a bargain. It's quite interesting, right? On those
options. But that was on a more limited playing field. Now this is a bit
there's
more
2,500 of them.
Well, that's it. 90 days, you got 2,800 all come. Well, 2,500, and then the next day another whatever happens today.
And if Pulsechain launches, it doubles.
Yeah, and let's be honest, Blue,
when you pay off when you first pay off those borrows, it's like nothing to actually get them. So if you pay off the minimum amount and no one else bids, because there's thousands of them, I mean, I'm not sure what's going to happen, but like, you could get a good bargain. Even if you just put in a price for half of what it's worth, I think that could snap up bargains, because there's going to be thousands of them.
I think there'll be a lot more attention being paid to the auctions this time around. I think only the hardcore Hedron dudes were paying attention to that, but now there's a lot more going on, and there is that real value you can pick up. My thoughts are, I think people will pay what the stake is worth. Like, it doesn't make sense to pay more, because you just go sell your Hedron on market to buy a hex to do the stake. So I don't think they'll go for a premium. They should go at market. Or maybe because there's a lot of them. Yeah, maybe because there's a lot this time. Maybe a little bit less.
Richard Hart, Ante Portas. Slowly, the gates are opening. We got DeFi is ramping up. Open the gate.
That was funny.
Yay.
Richard Hart made hex. Close the gate. He's making everyone rich. Open the gate just a tiny little bit. So he's going on to more and more live streams which are bigger and bigger. I checked out the numbers yesterday, and it was like 50K for the first one and 100K for the second one. This is huge. Like lots of people get, and the more he is going into those bigger and bigger live streams, the more he is expanding who he can go on to next.
Cryptocurrency.
Oh yeah, I didn't
know
he's plugging his crypto stuff.
Anyways.
Yo, so
get that
who watches this
cryptocurrency
show?
out of here. I don't want money.
I never. Who watches it? Who's
like
the demographic?
party-
I never even heard of it until I got
people,
that.
Miami, go out.
Never mind. I already know
Red
the
pill
demographic.
guys.
Nah,
they
ain't no
they are
red pill
branching
guys
out into
watching that.
finance. They're branching out into finance. How to develop yourself as a man, stuff like this. Yeah.
Yep. Chad,
go to the gym.
Chad Donor
Get
Schwans.
your life in order. How to get the girl you like, stuff like that. They're all over the place, and then they discuss with girls, with people that are in
let
the
me get this
businesses,
straight.
creating
The
businesses
internet
and so
is
on.
teaching motherfuckers how to be adults or some shit now. Is that something that I missed?
Yeah,
because the schools aren't doing it.
because nobody else is doing
Schools
it.
aren't supposed to do it, bro. Your parents are supposed to.
Yeah,
Nah, they got 50. Parents traditionally have 15% influence on you. Period. The rest is all outside shit, including schools. So, not really that much with
15%?
parents. 15, not 50. 15.
Yeah, that's what we were waiting for.
For everybody.
Oh, please.
Okay.
Please.
Okay. I'll check out Strange New Worlds. I'm just very old school. I really still like the original Star Trek a lot.
Oh, the
But
original
I'll
is
check
great.
out-
Are you kidding?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's hard to beat that. So, like, I like Next Generation, but when I found, I grew up watching Next Generation. Then I found Star Trek, the original.
Live in
Never
studio,
watched it.
baby. No.
Yeah, indeed, no. Indeed,
Yo,
no.
And what how you gonna say no? But you see them over there recording. You know, full and well, he gonna do something crazy.
By the way, the magic of the internet and the future. You can see it from one angle, and you also have the second angle.
Yeah. You be having those multi.
Zoom in on that.
No, do not, please.
Enhance.
No.
Enhance.
Why would you
No.
Main screen turn on.
Can you see the
Do it.
Red Bull can yet or not?
No, yeah.
Are you
If there
looking?
were, it would be revealed. That's how brown candles are made. That's lovely, Alan. Beautiful.
I don't know. Alan made a comment there that he reckons I look like. What do you say? I look like a cross between GRC and Litz Hex Baby. I don't know how to take that.
Oh no, but that's pretty funny, man.
How'd you like Richard stepping all over a dollar cost when he was trying to tell his tale? Richard's like, oh, and another soliloquy. Half hour later, oh, we forgot about DCC. Miguel, what's your story? Oh yeah.
The introduction.
Yep.
He did comment though that it was a good stream, so good for him. Maybe at some
Look,
point.
man, I told you guys a long time ago my 2 favorite words. No fucking choice. Y'all be forgetting.
It's 3
Is
words.
that 3 words?
No, it's 2.
They're hyphenated somewhere. Yeah.
Yes, you pick where.
No fucking and then choice. Mayo, come on, man.
Get with the program, man.
Wales
Look,
does not. Wales is never wrong, man. Never apologetic.
We gotta
never
cut
wrong.
Mayo some slack. He doesn't come on here often. He doesn't know the rules.
He doesn't know the rules. Thou shalt not correct Wales.
You should have played that song. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
so look, he was cut off every time he wanted to go the intro.
Did he? That sucks, bro.
No, he never did. He never got to. They were always.
I didn't watch it.
He did.
That
He
first
talked about being
stream
a
when they're
landscaper.
talking technicals and hacks and the cryptocurrencies in general, like they were on spot, right? Like I have never seen such a flawless stream from Richard Hart. He was on point. Like every topic, every reply he had, and they were constantly. I don't know if it's like the Miami style of talking, but they were like a train rolling, no stop, no nothing.
I lived down there for 3 years. I don't know about his accent because I ain't never heard no accent like that. But I didn't go to school with white people, so
It's an Everglades like brackish accent, I guess.
I don't know. But I'm from New York, you know what I mean? So doesn't mean shit to me either way.
Yeah, well.
But they do speak fast. They don't speak slow, and you got to understand what they're saying because the vernacular is different. They're not even considered the South. It's Miami, so completely different arena down there.
I want to real quickly talk about PulseCon because I know that's a big thing coming up. If correct me if I'm wrong, and they will correct me when they come on, is I believe they're going to be at PulseCon as well. Get Fit will be out there. So it'd be cool to meet up with them and talk to them about this project. We'll go from there.
One thing I love is the crypto space. I wasn't real impressed with the NFT space when it was just the JPEGs. But as I began to really do my research and study, and Vishal Gupta, who is the creator of Tag Protocol, I really pay attention to him. And I've learned so much from him with the technology and the utility that can be behind the NFTs, that it's so much more than just registering these JPEGs on the blockchain. And it's really amazing what you can do with the technology. So I really started researching. I know that there's move to earn apps, that this is not a new idea. But one of the things I like to do is break everything down and then put the puzzle back together so that I can find the missing links or the missing pieces or what's not really working for these apps. And are you wanting to talk, Ryan?
I just want to say shout out, first of all, you guys, and also shout out to Richard Hart. And I've been, just real quick background, I've been a Hexagon now for about 6 months, and I was in network marketing, cryptocurrency, and after seeing these things crash and burn for so long, I said, you know what, enough is enough. I can take this money, put it at Hex. I put a lot of it, staked a whole bunch of it. I was like, I'm going to ride this wave. I know I'm going to get filthy rich, putting X amount of dollars in and riding this thing to Pulsechain. So it's been my intention as being part of Tag Protocol. Then I won't interrupt you again, Lynette. But anyways, I just want to give a background also about myself being a Hexagon, because I love Richard Hart. And I think that when he sees the value and other Hexagons see the value, that it's our intention to bring value to the Hex community through NFT, he's going to be like, dang. So I'm just looking forward to see what the Hexagons think about this. Go ahead, Lynette.
But what I wanted to do was make sure that everybody's movement counted, that you didn't just have to, you didn't have to step outside to walk in order for your activity to count. Some people can't do that. Some people have health restrictions. Some people have climate restrictions. Some people have age restrictions. There's a lot of things that play into a person's overall health and activity that they're capable of doing. So I really wanted to design an app or create an app that fit all facets of activity. Turn your body into a mining machine. And then, like I said, I wanted to find the flaws that didn't work with the other apps and fix that. Go ahead, Ryan.
Well, I love this saying. I've come up with a few little crafty sayings. First of all, if you're not moving, you're dead. Mine until you die. We can look back at what Bill Gates did. If you Google Bill Gates 666 cryptocurrency, you'll see that he actually wanted to turn people into mining machines. And obviously, he probably had a little bit of ulterior motives with that, as he typically does, using data, potentially weaponize it. Who knows? He's my neighbor up here in Seattle. But in his patents, it didn't include using NFT technology. So Lynette has studied all the move to earn concepts out there, and she'll explain why this is so big. But the human body is the perfect mining machine, and this Web3 app just has brilliant potential. Go ahead, Lynette.
Okay, how do I do this, and what does it give me in return? I guess is what I'm asking.
Well, we started out, like I said, with Tag Protocol. So I wanted to make sure, Vishal's, his knowledge in the space is very in-depth. And so, he's got the tag coin that goes with the NFT projects that are currently there. So we did choose that. We could have used the BNB coin, whatnot. But, I mean, that coin's already, it goes up from a couple $100, $500, $600, back and forth, back and forth. But when you can use a token that is at pennies. I mean, we've been up to, 35, 40 cent range with it, but to allow people to get started when that token is low, then you're going to get that extended growth in that token that you're not going to get in BNB. I mean, it would have to reach $30,000 BNB for you to get the exponential growth in those tokens that you're, using. So I wanted to use the tag coin. It's already started to increase, which has been, I like to use the word fantabulous, but fantastic. So anyway, it's on the Binance Smart Chain. So you need a DApp wallet. And that can be daunting for new people that are getting into the crypto space. But I mean, you can get a college education on YouTube. So you can go, and search on YouTube how to download MetaMask, Token Pocket, Trust Wallet, SafePal, any of those. And you just have to make sure that you import the token, which is using a contract address. You go to tagcoin.io, you use BNB, BUSD, you buy your tag coin. It's 1,500 tag coin to mint an NFT. And all you do is click mint, you pay a mining fee, it crafts the band, and then you pay, the second fee, part of the mining, and then bam, you've got your crafted NFT. These NFTs are interactive, they are algorithmic, and then they are also programmed, believe it or not. So when we turn the programming piece on,
yeah, I said we are the world's first what?
We're the first app that I can find that's interactive. It has the algorithms and it's got the programming behind it, along with the utility that we have also within the app. You can see I'm wearing my Apple band and I have this little dial here on the side. So on your 3D band, that will scroll your screen, and the screen will represent your real-time activity, your steps, your distance, your workouts. And so that's really cool for people to be able to see that on their NFT, to be able to display that. It's interactive. You can move it around the screen, twirl it around, and it's, they're very well put together. It's not, it wasn't a shabby job on that. The design and development behind that is top notch, like no other, in my opinion. And I've really, trust me, I do my research and I look and look and look. So we have the best team behind this project. And in my opinion, I have a lot of respect for them, the time they put into it. And not only that, but making sure it got designed the way that I had created it. And trust me, it was difficult. That's why it's not been done before. This was not an easy task. This took a lot of brain power, to put this together, to be able, this app has got 10 features. And I really wanted to make sure that it went full circle, that there was just never going to be a hiccup to make it fail. And I'm not going to talk about other apps. I don't like to do that. Everybody puts in their hard work. Everybody, when you create something, your goal is to make, you're trying to create the next best thing. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. But I did use, a lot of my research with these other applications to try to see what wasn't working. One, you're restricted to their native token for their project. If that token doesn't take off, your project flopped. That's just the bottom line. Nobody's going to keep, working on a project or keep giving you their time if they don't see that token going anywhere. The next issue that I see in the crypto space is people have this fear of getting involved in multiple projects. If I support this project, I'm a trader if I go over here and support this one. When you've only got so many bodies walking the planet, you need people to get engaged in multiple projects. Not only that, all of these different projects offer different things. Some resonate with certain people, some of them don't. So I wanted to create a way where projects didn't have to just do a random airdrop into wallets, where people will probably never import those tokens to their wallet, because what's the biggest fear? I got a scam token and it's going to wipe out my wallet. And, it's really difficult to find out for a person who's not really adept to the crypto space, what's a scam and what's not. So, really, as far as I'm concerned, project creators who are doing these random airdrops, they're just burning money. They're wasting it. Yes, they're getting the wallet count, but they're not getting that engagement. And so I wanted to make sure that we brought that here. Well, that did two things. One, the native token to get fit, whether it takes off right away or it took a year, it took two, it won't matter. We have an airdrop engine. So projects can now lock arms together. They can airdrop into the Get Fit mining engine. And now they are not only, opening up the doors to a completely engaged audience who's mining their token they're working out, they're moving, they're mining for these tokens. But now they've got that engaged audience. They have a place where they can, show their pitch deck, their light paper, their white paper. They can put their website links there. And you've got people who are now checking out that project. they're also sharing Get Fit with their communities. And so now you've got multiple communities working together. Instead of this negative competition that's going on, you're really bringing these different projects together, because not all, but the majority of these projects have good intentions, and they really are trying to bring value to the space. And so now you are able to bring all of these projects to an engaged audience, and you're expanding the user's portfolio, their crypto portfolio. And it gives them more opportunity to learn about these projects that are out there. And I really think it brings value to not only Get Fit, obviously, the user base, it brings value to the projects because they're sharing communities and projects. You're locking arms. I mean, how much better can it be to work with people that are like-minded in the same space for a mutual goal? You know, it works better, and you're bringing value to the people.
Well, I was, you know, I had the cough there for a while, and when I was coming out of it, I was watching a lot of YouTube because I was bored. I couldn't really do anything, and I kept getting this particular video recommended to me, and I can't quite remember what it was called, but I remember the tagline, and it was like billionaires making people rich or something along those lines. I bet a lot of the people watching know exactly the video I'm talking about. And it was Richard sitting in a chair talking with the woman. She was interviewing him for an hour, or it might have been 2 hours. And this was before, you know, he was very well presented. He wasn't doing any outrage things yet. And I just, you know, the moment that I heard him talk, I didn't know anything about anything in regards to crypto, but I heard this man talk, and sometimes you just have an intuition where you're like, I need to listen to this, because I don't know anything about the subject about which he's speaking, but I know that he knows everything about the subject that he's speaking about. And I need to hear what he has to say. And so I listened to the whole interview, and I just thought, you know, towards the beginning, you know, I heard, yeah, my crypto that I created 2 years ago has gone up 1,000,000% so far. And I was like,
the hell?
I was like, I rewound it. I'm like, he said 1,000,000%, 1,000,000%, 10,000x. That was the first thing that caught my ear, of course. And so I watched the whole thing, and then I just started binge watching him. I started binge watching Richard and just absorbing all these things he was saying. And I would watch him in debates, just decimate people, just make them look like fools. And I'm like, you know, I realized this man knows what he's talking about. And I believe him. I believe what he's saying. I believe that he genuinely wants the things that he says he wants. I believe that he genuinely wants to help people. I believe that he genuinely wants what's best for us. I believe that he genuinely wants glory for being the best guy in crypto. And I believe genuinely that he can do it. And so I just watched everything that I could about him. And, you know, and this was somewhere around maybe January 10th. So just a handful of days, I'm just crushing Richard Hart stuff. And I'm like, okay, he talks a lot about Pulsechain. What's that? So I start diving into Pulsechain. I learned about the sacrifice. And I say to myself, all right, how do I do that? I want to do that. I'm going to do that right now, today. Of course, I couldn't. I had to fight with centralized exchanges a lot, Coinbase, Binance, all that nonsense. Try to get my money off, you know, in there, out of there, onto a MetaMask that I had to set up, the whole nine. You know, I just took a crazy hardcore crash course over the course of a week in everything crypto. And I just kind of had to wait it out until they would release my funds. And I did not get the best sacrifice rate for Pulsechain at all, but I got a sacrifice rate, and that was important to me. And I think when I averaged it all out, and I had to do it just in little bits because they would only release my funds in little bits. And I think it's somewhere around like maybe 5,000 or 6,000 or something. So right above midway, but I certainly didn't get 10,000 points for a buck, but would have loved to. Then I learned about Pulsechain, you know, and my heart was broken that I missed that. And really, so it was Pulsechain that I first got involved with. And then I spent a month learning everything that I could. And it was then that I learned, or I realized, the game-changing invention that is Hex. I absorbed everything I could about T-shares, about the share rate. I was very attracted initially to the concept of immutability. I was like, that sounds like a good thing. That's better than something being able to be changed. I was really drawn to the idea, the concept of no admin keys. I was like, that sounds like a great thing. You know, if I'm going to be into crypto, that sounds like one that I'd want to be in. No admin keys. You know, old Toots McGee over there can't change it if he wanted to. It's in the code. And every new facet of Hex that I learned about, I became more and more infatuated with it. And I realized this is an absolute game changer. I didn't know that I was looking for crypto, but I think I didn't know that I was looking for it. But when I found it, I knew that I had found everything that I had ever looked for in terms of a financial instrument, everything that I didn't know I was looking for. And I'm like, I'm in, you know. I wish I would have been in 2 years ago, like you guys, but dude, I'm in now. And so I don't have the best seat on the plane, but bro, I got a seat on the plane, and that plane, that plane's going to, I mean, we're going to Mars, man. We're on a rocket ship.
It's so cool to hear.
You know?
It's so cool to hear that story, because, you know, like your story coming in and my story coming in are completely opposite, because I came in before Hex was invented, you know, but the same thing applied, because the reason, so I'm in crypto and I'm jaded because I see scams everywhere. I mean, I'm in the deepest, darkest alleys of crypto trading, watching people get put in jail, watching people scam out that are my friends, that are building cryptos, that are mining, that are doing all these things. I'm seeing all this stuff, like going, this is a shit show. This thing is a shit show. And then the refreshing voice of Richard Hart comes over the YouTube, and I'm like, wait a minute. Like, just like you said, I know I don't know everything, but I know that guy knows everything.
Yep. I
know he knows everything. And I know that he's schooling people. And no matter how hard these other people in crypto would tell him, no, you're wrong, he always had the right answer. And not only did he have the right answer, but I could read in his confidence and their confidence and what was being said, that they didn't know what the fuck they were talking about, and that he had just wrecked them. And they didn't know how to react to it, because they were some so-called crypto influencer, ultra, you know, they were the pinnacle of something. And then he tore them down in one argument, and they didn't know how to react to it. And I could see that in their face. I could see it just go pale, that they had just been destroyed by this man, and how real and right he was.
Yep.
And that's what attracted me. And then, of course, the first thing, as you start looking at Hex, you see this T-share thing and you go, wait a minute, that's where the magic is in there. There's magic in that T-share. Somehow, some way there's magic, and I got to figure it out. I got to understand it. And that was the first thing we did on these streams, was we were diving into the T-share and what it was, and unpeeling that. And I didn't have any idea. Wow. But once you find out what it is, then you're like, this is earth-shattering, world-changing finance right here. This is true DeFi. This is the nucleus of something great that can be. And that's when you go all in. And that's what I did. I was all in, and then Pulsechain and PulseX, and
bro, man,
from the beginning.
You know, 10 years from now, or maybe even, you know how we right now, a lot of the community watches streams, like, for example, with Jack Levin, whom I like a lot, the Google employee number 21, I think.
Yeah.
We watch him on his streams and we're like, wow, 1999, early 2000s. And we hear the stories of how, of the ground guys on Google who built that world. You're going to be on those streams 10 years from now. People are going to be like, wow, this is one of the OGs that helped build the Hex world. How cool is that? Just to think about.
It's
an
honor and extremely cool.
Hex is Google. It's even bigger than that, I think, in the grand scheme of things. It changes everything on so many levels.
Oh,
how exciting is that? But you're going to be one of those guys. There's going to be all you OGs are all going to be, you know, the Jack Levins of the next 15 years. People are going to be looking back on you, writing books about you.
Well, they've made a movie about some of us already.
Yeah,
so
man.
That's coming out pretty soon, so that'll be interesting to see.
I had the C word. I had Charlie a second time a few weeks ago, and that's when I wrote this. Just, you know, just cause I'm excited. Well, I drifted off again at work, thinking about Pulsechain. And occasionally I think back to that twerk, Richard Hart bringing his game. Even though I missed the sacrifice cause I came too late, day one I'm still making it rain. I drifted off again at work, thinking about Pulsechain. Well, I woke up in a sweat last night, dreaming about Pulse X. Won't be long before I'm going to bed, wearing a Rolex. There's so much to love about it, I can't pick my favorite. It's almost better than sex. I drifted off, woke up in a sweat last night, brothers and sisters, dreaming about Pulse X. All right. Very important here. If you want to be set up for life, you better stake your hex. Might as well start with 5, a financial suplex. Generational wealth is just a click away. It's a Nobel Prize worthy flex. If you want to be set up for life, you better stake your hex. A financial suplex, a Nobel Prize worthy flex. You better stake your hex.
Depends on where you're holding that. So, I mean, that's all I'll say on that. I don't really want to get in that unless, Rags, I don't know if you want to comment on that at all, but.
They're not going to take it, but what they'll do is legislate against it. So that way, if they catch you, they can slam you. So that's the play.
You mentioned like when Pulsechain launches, you're saying you take 50% and just right when it launches, you're thinking? I mean,
yeah,
like,
deploy it.
Deploy it right at launch. Huh? Okay.
Yeah, so that way, if it runs hard, you will have been in day one, and if it never comes back, then it's a really good entry. And dollar cost averaging is good for going up and going down because again, you're not a prophet. You don't know what's going to happen.
Right. Right.
The truth of the matter is the only thing that is going to make people be on board with what we have going on is time and the price chart.
Yeah.
That's it. Time and the price chart. Every day that Hex stays alive, it slaps all those people in the face that trashed all of these Hexkins for so long. And I remind people of this too. I didn't get into Hex until 2021, right? And before that, man, these folks, man, they took arrows. They took arrows for all of us. They built the house that we're living in right now. Right. And every single day that we stay alive, we're more and more vindicated. And we grow more and more powerful. That's just how it is. So how do you see Hex on the Ethereum performing after Pulsechain launches? I think we're going to pump really hard pre. I think that in a matter of less than a week, I think that we can hit 50 cents. I think that when all the dust settles and we're pre-bridge, I think that as soon as the bridge does pop open, we're going to see parity very quickly within hours. Parity within like 1%. I think that with all the bots that are going to be trying to arbitrage that margin there, that difference, and I think also with the bridge, if you look at other assets that have launched on multiple chains that have bridges, I mean, there's not much difference in price between the two ever. So I think Hex pumps, I think it'll get cut in half by about 50%, maybe 30 to 50%. And I think we'll be sitting around there for a while. I think there's a lot of people that have money ready to deploy. Now, based on what I've heard, everybody says, get all your stuff over to Pulsechain. Get all your stuff over to Pulsechain. Folks, don't sleep on eHex. Do not sleep on eHex, and don't sleep on cheap T-shares, folks. Just be very aware of that. If the whole crowd's telling you to swerve right, you might want to stay put and just let that opportunity fall in your lap. And then also on the Ethereum side, there's also Uniswap options there for liquidity providing and all sorts of cool stuff. Yeah. So, but me personally, I'm going to try to keep it simple. I'm going to do a couple things. I'm going to stay out of stables. You know, I don't want to waste that opportunity to get copies of something else if the stables get invalidated. And I'm just going to keep it simple, man, and just keep adding and accumulating and not losing. That's the most important thing ever. One of the most difficult things that I've found is separate Richard's thoughts from my thoughts in my own head, right? Because we hear what he says all the time, and we're in agreement because it makes complete logical sense, right?
Right.
So I think that I'm pretty firm in thinking that I'm not all in on NFTs, man. I'm just not, and I don't think I would be, even if Richard, even if I didn't hear anything from Richard about it. I really don't think I would be. However, I think it's important. Here's why. Progress is important. Progress that goes all the way up to the wall of failure. It's extremely important. Why? Because everybody's watching that progress, and everybody's learning, and everybody's understanding, and everybody's adapting. I don't know what this is going to turn into. It's going to turn into something, some iteration. It might not look like anything that we thought in terms of, you think about like, lightning bolts to the sky. There's so many different levels of complexity that it can spider web out into. Who knows? But what I do know is there's a lot of people that are excited about it. And when humans get excited about something and they get motivated, they find really, really cool ideas in their brain and apply them to the world. So that's what I'm excited about.
Yeah.
Let's get a tip of the hat to Alex over there with Hedron. He's the NFT. I think this was like one of the first instances of encapsulated value with an NFT in the world. I don't know of that happening anywhere else. Being able to take a hex stake, encapsulate it, and being able to send it to somebody, making it mobile. That's huge.
Yeah.
It doesn't give enough credit, in my opinion. So you can hate Hedron or you can love Hedron. But again, one of the things that Richard said probably about a year and a half ago, he was like, I'm really excited. I'm excited to see what really, really cool ideas that Hexkins make, because we've got a lot of really, really smart people that are lurking in the shadows. And Alex, as far as I'm concerned, he popped up out of nowhere, right? But we got to encourage people to come out of the shadows.
Yeah.
We got to, because there are geniuses that are lurking amongst us.
Yeah.
And one genius can do more work for humanity or do more work for an ecosystem than 1,000 people could in the same amount of time. Just one. They change everything.
Yeah.
They change the trajectory of the world, for God's sake. So I think it's awesome, dude. I'm excited to see what happens moving forward. And when you say it's not only for Texas, I talk to people from the UK. I talk to people from Europe. I talk to people from Australia. I've had one-on-one conversations with these people, and I sense fear in their heart, because for the first time in their lives, they've seen the face of what tyranny is. They've gotten a taste of it, and it only accelerates from here, right?
Yeah.
You know, conflict deferred is conflict multiplied. If you don't put a boot in the ass of that stuff right now, it's just going to be so much harder to clean up in the future. And we as people from all over the world, you know, regardless if you are from the States or not, life, liberty, happiness, and self-determination. The ability for people to be governed by the people that they want to be governed by, right? So we've got it all screwed up. It's like an improper fraction right now. I call it a Dolly Parton fraction, top heavy, right? So we got too much power at the top. The people need to flip that fraction around. We need everybody to understand where it comes from. It's determined by us, our right of self-governance and self-determination. And that's what Texan is 100%, 1,000,000% all about. That's it.
So with the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, if anyone was around in 2017, they were the guys that they were doing the futures trading on Bitcoin. And that was the buy the rumor, sell the news, help make the 20K top. Institutions were able to get in and sell and buy and sell futures on it. And then
like first,
afterwards,
he's coming out.
But here's the problem.
Yeah,
Here's the nice thing about that is we have a precedent now that Bitcoin as a cryptocurrency has already been sold. The first institutional buying and selling of it was on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, which is a commodities exchange. So hopefully we can use that as a precedent going forward that all cryptocurrencies, except for securitized cryptocurrencies, will actually fall under the commodity and the personal personal property heading.
And that's where they're making their argument, though, is that Bitcoin was the only one that had happened to.
It's funny because it's the Bitcoin guys that are the first through the door now trying to shut the door behind them so that only their bag gets the benefits and not the next one.
That's some weak ass sauce right there, man.
Yep.
But this is what all these guys are always doing. If someone like comes and asks about one of the tokens or coins that you were talking about, they all lead back to Hex. And the idea of forking ETH to Pulse, and suddenly it gets pretty simple for people, and then they start, if there's such a big ecosystem around it already, it also gives more credibility to the whole thing, as long as it's not scam stuff. And but I think the community has managed so far pretty well, keeping out the scam stuff. Although, like, we cannot really know how many people fell for it, because many of the people who fell for scams probably won't shout out.
You know why?
Because they're ashamed and don't know what to do.
You know
but,
why?
Like a couple of days ago, I think Vitalik, his Twitter said, all these 5,000 Instagram accounts are not mine. None of them. I am not on Instagram. And this is what Vitalik has to do on Twitter. We have that below everything, everywhere, in every chat, everywhere. People get, pulled back. And first thing is, there are a couple of sites that are legit. And if you click your way down from there, you'll be okay. And so we're bringing everyone back to the roots, I think, also through the new stuff that's coming out.
We educated them. We educated the lawyers. We had to educate every single outside agency that came in. We had to
educate the SEC attorneys for the Hex Investment Trust. Like, we paid to teach them what Hex and how it works. Yeah.
We were paying bills every month, and they were
getting the effort that's put into this.
Dude, I credit a lot of that to Wales. There's a lot of times I just started losing my cool. Like, how many times we got to go over this? And Wales was like, no, I work with these kind of people all day long. Like, let me just talk to them about. I'll re-explain it. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
You're no longer liquidity for Garlinghouse, right? Like you're done with that XRP shit, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Good.
cashed out 100%. I cashed out. Actually, my last cash out was like December 25th. I think I had like $1,500 left of it, and I was trying to cash it out, but you know, there was some problems with Coinbase.
Yep.
And man, it took me 3 months to get that damn thing.
Oh, you kidding me?
But since it was marinating in there, the price had went up from the 1,500 to 5,000. So I cashed that out. I was like, okay, I cashed that out.
What'd you do with the cash?
Spent it in Mexico.
Hey, guess what, Naga?
What's up?
I took $89,000 out of XRP and I dumped it in the Maxi. So, hey,
oh, in the
jackpot, bitch.
Man, I did a post. XRP holders, I'm telling you, 10 years from now, they still gonna be talking about, hey, we going to the moon. Just
we're going
still waiting on SEC.
I'm like, I'm on the moon, so I'm coming back to Earth, bro. I'm like, I'll come visit you. You know, like, forget it.
We're all over there waiting for SEC. We're marinating.
Yeah, we just marinating over here, man. You know, I sacrifice like I sacrifice a lot for
I laugh because
projects. I sacrifice everything but these nuts.
To explain in layman's terms,
that's the hard part. You use the hard part right there. Yeah,
with no hooky dook stories about, you know, freaking donkeys and butternut squashes. And
we're not talking about the donkey show, sir. No.
Okay, but I'm just saying, you know, see if you can explain to people the magic of what is happening here with NFTs surrounding Hex, which is the nucleus, and shares and bonding them and doing things. See if you can give some kind of a speech to everybody so that they can understand.
So let's
If
start.
we can, may I add something, not layman's terms, but maybe Cliff's notes, sort of like. Thanks.
Coming from you, that was fucking brilliant, man. Thanks, bro.
All right. So let's start out with my simple analogy. Is what is an NFT? It's a social security number. You have to digest this before you can start to wrap yourself around what a wrapper is. Just like it took all of us 6 months to understand a T-share and the power of the engine that it is. So an NFT inherently is just a wrapper. It's a social security number. A social security number can exist in an apartment or a house. And then I can have a roommate if I have 2 rooms. 2 social security numbers or NFTs can exist in the same wallet. You can have a partner. That partner can have a kid. That is 2 different social security numbers nesting under a social security number or an NFT. That kid can go to college, get an accreditation. That is also an NFT. So when you digest it, it is an NFT can utilize, nest, and wrap and use oracles, DAOs, or any other key combinations that you have. Now, people don't realize when they buy Hex, they're buying T-shares with their Hex. That is the power. It is the only currency to buy a T-share. Hex itself is a wrapper to get a red carpet to a T-share, the most important thing. Now, a T-share will allow you to get Hedron, right? And so that Hedron didn't have, as Kinetics likes to say, a Pac-Man eater. And without that Pac-Man eater,
I stole that from Kool-Aid, by the way.
No. It's all Kent's. It's all Kent's. But like that Pac-Man eater needs to offset the dumpamentals, and it's just Team Alex is doing all of this by himself. He needed to take the time to put the other wedge on top of it, which is ICASA. So ICASA, by actually understanding that it requires HSI hex stakes, and it will sloop them up like a straw now to go to burn. So that burning mechanism requires Hedron. So as that vortex both usurps the hex and the Hedron, first remember all of that hex will be staked 55555. The amount of 55555 stakes is going to go through the roof. And then from there, you get your ICASA. Now, the NFT side, we'll come to that in a minute. But here's going to be the fun play. In 90 days, or let's just say 87 days, if you have that Hedron, you're going to want to go buy those HSI stakes that go up for auction, because you have 90 days till they go to the warehouse that allows you to go buy them. And then from there, all of that hedron that people have war chested, or if you're an idiot, you dumped, you will want to purchase those to bring that back to get ICASA, because ICASA staking will give you both ICASA and hedron. So now it's a double trident, or like a double spear, that allows that ecosystem to come to fruition. Now, with the what's up stake, that's even more interesting, because if you paid attention to any of my wrapping calls, that asset could also be wrapped. Now, probably people are going to whip me to say, stop talking. But I have said this so many times, to understand how to wrap a utility is a mamushka doll. It's a Fabergé egg. It's you have to understand how these things compound and roll on top of each other. But because the entire hedron ICASA system requires the T-share system, they're moving in like a gyroscope against each other, and it just moves rapidly.
Teeter-totter is what you told me. A seesaw.
Seesaw is the best way to explain it. Yes,
that's a better explanation.
Yes. But
I
it's also
understand
a
seesaw. My
seesaw.
mind can comprehend that.
Sure, fat kid and a skinny kid, right? So you have a seesaw, and you have and two trampolines on the either side, and you have a fat kid and a skinny kid. Skinny kid jumps up just a little bit, and he moves the fat kid up an inch. But the fat kid's fat, so he then pushes the skinny kid up 3 feet. Well, now the skinny kid has velocity, so he comes down and he can push the fat kid up 2 feet. Now the fat kid's fat, so again it pushes it up. So swap out skinny kid and fat kid for skinny bags and fat bags.
Even though I missed the sacrifice, cause I came too late. Day one, I'm still making it rain. I drifted off again at work, thinking about Pulsechain.